Hey guys, it is Cass with Real Movement by Cass. So I promised you guys a Facebook Live feed today, but I actually got quite a few emails from you guys about requesting a pre-done video so that you guys can watch this later or keep it in your email box or whatever works for you. And so that is what I'm doing. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about back pain. It's probably one of the more common things that I see in my practice and that people come to me for. And I wanted to talk to you about a couple of different things that actually cause back pain and maybe your problem and maybe why you haven't gotten relief, because maybe these things have never been addressed. And then I also want to just give you a couple really quick tips on how to get out of back pain, but really more importantly to stay out of back pain, because I'm sure if you have suffered from back pain, you have seen a chiropractor or a massage therapist, something to give you a little bit of relief, but it may be something chronic that you're dealing with. And so I kind of want to give you a couple things to think about as you're thinking about really long-term solutions for your lower back pain. So without further ado, first thing that generally contributes to lower back problems is tight hamstrings and tight glutes. It's probably one of the more common things that I see because most people are sitting at a desk most of the day. So hamstrings and glutes get super tight, and what happens is these guys are all of this is connected to this lower back area. So all it's doing is pulling, it's like a rubber band, and so it's pulling down on that lower back. And so if your lower back is bothering you during the day, it's generally because you're sitting and because those hamstrings and glutes get pretty wound up. So the second thing that I see is gait pattern. So this is actually one of the more important assessments that I do with people that I work with. I have them walk. I want to see how their foot placement is landing. A lot of times people who are heavy heel strikers or flat foot strikers suffer from lower back pain. So when you're walking, you actually want to kind of have a wave, and I'll talk about that when I go over your tips. But if you feel like you're a heavy heel striker, imagine all of that force from the ground coming up into that lower back area and pulling on that lower back, and that's just contributing even more so. So the last thing I want to talk about is this pelvic tilt. So I see this in a lot of little pictures, like Kim Kardashian pictures, where they're, it's kind of this business out here like that. Maybe really cute for a picture, but not really great for your lower back. So what happens is the hips actually kind of tilt out like this. So your butt may be a little bit bigger, but your back may be in a little bit more pain. So ideally your hips should be tucked under, and you should have a nice kind of uncompressed spine right here. So if I'm out here like this, I'm just compressing that lower spine. If I'm here keeping my hips tucked in, then I've got a nice loose spine here. So what does that mean? The core has got to be strong enough to be able to support that. So that is my great segue for the tips that I want to share with you for lower back pain. So the first is if tight hamstrings and glutes is your problem, then a couple different stretches that you can do. So I'm going to show you the first one. Pull a chair over here for a second. So most of you, if you're working at an office, cannot get up like me and go stretch in the gym or kind of lay on the floor and roll around for a little bit to get that relief. So a quick hamstring glute stretch that you can do at your desk or at home if you're watching TV is actually just go ahead and take a seat in a chair, and you're just going to cross one leg over the other like so. And then you're going to sit up nice and tall, and you're just going to come forward like so. Now you'll notice that I'm not rolling over through my back. That's creating a great stretch in my upper back, but it's doing nothing for down here. So leg cross, sit up nice and tall, and hinge down here, okay? So another one that you can do, which is actually a little bit more aggressive, but you do need to be able to get down on the floor. I'm gonna actually show you right over here. So go ahead and lay down on the floor. You're gonna extend one leg. You need to decide how close you can get to the wall, because you're going to cross over and then bring this foot down. So if this is not enough stretch for you, all you're going to do is get a little bit closer and start here. And then as it feels good, you're just going to slowly start bringing that leg down as you warm yourself up. Don't do it all at once. The hamstrings and the glutes need just a little bit of time to warm up. Don't leave any marks on your wall like I probably just did. So the next thing is that gait pattern. So listen to yourself step. If you have a heavy heel strike or you can hear yourself walking, you need to lighten up your step a little bit. And so lightening up your step, think about kissing the floor with your heel as you're walking. So you're just going to kiss it and then come up on the toe, and creating movement through the foot. So support shoes are kind of what I see a lot of people, as people get older, they want a little bit more support in their arch. their ankles, those type of things when they're running. The challenge with more support is you take away the natural gait pattern that your foot wants to do, which is that wave pattern. So if you take that away, you're essentially hitting the ground flat-footed. And that means lots of force right up into that lower back, okay? So try some more fluid shoes, try barefoot, maybe at home, and create that wave, okay? Heel kisses the floor, come up off of the toes. Heel kisses the floor, come up off of the toes, okay? The last one is that pelvic tilt. So remember, most people are like this. So if you find yourself standing like this, okay, guts kind of sitting over here, back is compressed, and all of this is pulling on that lower back. So you're going to tuck your tummy in like this. Try not to squeeze your butt to do it though. So think about a bowl, and you want to tilt the bowl in and stand up nice and tall. So the bowl is poured out, and then we tilt it back in, okay? So to do that, or I should say to maintain that, got to get this nice and strong, nice and tight, okay? So planks, any sort of stabilization exercise through the core is going to be super important to not just get yourself in this, in this position, but to keep yourself in this position. Because remember, guys, I'm a total believer in massage therapy, chiropractic care, acupuncturist, any of those things. But if they're not addressing the bigger problem, or they're not assessing it and looking at those things, you're going to be suffering with chronic back pain for a very long time. So these are things that are addressing the whole body and kind of taking into consideration maybe other things that are going. Now, your situation could be different, and so I'll tell you my 3 rules. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a doctor. So I generally recommend people see a doctor or orthopedic if this is something pretty serious and you've been dealing with it for a while. A lot of times there could be some skeletal issues going on, or something else a little bit more involved. So these things that I talked about today are some tricks to kind of start assessing yourself to see how your lower back is, and see if they provide a little bit of relief. And if they do, then you may have found your culprit, and it may not be quite as serious as you think it is. These do take some time to build off of and to strengthen the area so that your lower back gets some relief. This is not something that you're going to do one time and it's going to fix the entire problem. You will get relief through your lower back, but if you want to fix something, you've got to work at it, and you've got to take the time and the effort to continuously strengthen these areas, recreate that gait pattern, and really sort of recreate your movement pattern with your body in general. So that's all I've got for you guys with back pain, but I would love to hear back from you. So if you have, no pun intended, hear back from you. If you guys have questions, you have some comments, some concerns, and maybe you need some more aggressive, and a more aggressive approach, definitely connect with me. Leave me a comment. Visit my webpage, www.reallivingbycass.com. Leave me your information. I'll be happy to contact you and see if I can't help you. But that is all I've got for back pain. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of the week and a great weekend. Thanks.